All right, we are back with America's favorite game show, Blind Date. I have a bunch of players that Jay and Connor don't know who they are. We'll see if they can guess it or not. Of course, everyone goes to a bar for their blind dates. That's the premise of the bit here as well. So let's talk about, they're all running backs today.
Oh, wow.
They're all running backs today. And also, by the way, we're not doing any splits. These are no splits. You know, we usually do the splits. So here's a running back that, 42nd in designed rush share, 54th and inside the 5 rush attempts, but middle of the pack in utilization score. However, fantasy points per game, he's low end RB2. Any idea who this is?
No, just an anonymous RB2.
Yeah, they put together a tough one for you. No real clues here as well. So the reason why these numbers are so low is because it's TreVeyon Henderson, who was not used early in the season, but has now obviously picked it up. The most important thing is that the rest of the way, the Patriots have the easiest remaining schedule for running backs. They're at Cincinnati this week, obviously. Then the Giants, they have a bye. Buffalo, at Baltimore, at the Jets, home to Miami. Like, there's not one good run defense they face the rest of the way as well. Now, up to this point, they've had 6 easiest, but I do think TreVeyon Henderson is very much a buy if you can get him, even a quote-unquote buy high for the fantasy playoffs. Even when Ramondre comes back, I think Henderson is going to continue to have significant fantasy value. All right, let's talk about, here's running back number 2. Also tough to, 6th in route participation, 18th in utilization score. So he's being used a ton, but he's just 29th in fantasy points per game.
Is this Woody Marks?
It's a close guess, but no.
No, I'm not too sure. Who do you got?
Well, it's obviously a receiving back that's used a lot, but not particularly good.
Oh, wow.
And it's Alvin Kamara. The one thing, though, is, again, that utilization score of 18th. Like, he's being used a lot, especially in the passing game. And it's worth noting that the Saints have the second easiest schedule remaining for running backs. Falcons, Miami, Tampa Bay. That's not a great one. But then Carolina, the Jets, at Tennessee, at Atlanta. So you don't love Atlanta this week. Pretty good run defense. But the rest, and Tampa Bay is a little tough. But other than that, pretty easy schedule. Second easiest remaining schedule for running backs. He is getting volume. Like, there's not much you can hang your hat on here, Jay, but he is at least out there.
Yeah, and that's ultimately the most important thing, to be out there to compile stats.
So with Kamara, just like, if you could get him cheap, he might be a usable flex the rest of the way, just given the schedule, how that matches up. All right, let's go to running back number 3. This is a running back that's just one of the top, right? He's top 10, top 11 in utilization score, route participation, inside the 5-yard rushing attempts, and designed rush share. So this is somebody that obviously, these all numbers obviously from fantasylife.com, all the underlying data that we use with the utilization report, 18th in fantasy points per game. Any thoughts here?
Kyron Williams?
That's a good guess. It's not Kyron Williams, but it's close. It's that kind of player. It's that kind of player who's, used a ton, but the fantasy point just haven't resulted a little bit.
Is it Chase Brown?
It is Chase Brown. Let's go, Connor. Very hard. And listen, Samaje Perine missed the last couple of weeks, but honestly, they just had a really tough schedule, and now it gets a lot easier for the Bengals. They have the 4th easiest remaining running back schedule. New England this week, not great, but then at Baltimore, at Buffalo, Baltimore, at Miami, Arizona. So it's a pretty easy schedule, 4th easiest for running backs. Up until this point, they had the hardest schedule for opposing running backs. Let's go to running back number 4. This is somebody who has, top 12 in goal-to-go rush attempts, design rush share. Obviously not a passing down back. His route participation just 47th. And he's, 23rd in utilization score. So feels like a first, second down grinder. He's 17th in fantasy points per game.
Jaylen Warren?
Nope. That's wrong. And it was not particularly close.
Javonte Williams?
That's a closer guess. No, it's my guy, Derrick Henry.
Wow.
King Henry, who Jay says should be backing up Keaton Mitchell.
That's right.
Well, apparently I'm correct.
Yeah, well, Now, Henry's obviously getting a lot of work, but he's a first and second down back. He's not used in the passing game. But the reason we bring him up is the Ravens have the 11th easiest remaining schedule for running back. Up to this point, it was third hardest. So just Lamar being back, Ravens making a playoff run, a hopeful playoff run. I think Henry should finish this season strong if you've managed to hang tough with him so far. And let's do one more running back here real quickly. So this is a running back, obviously, that's kind of all over the place. Like he's, designed rush share is 9th, route participation 10th, utilization score 9th. So being used a lot, except when they get in close. They're using this guy a ton, but just not when they get in close because he's 37th in inside the 5-yard rush attempts.
Oh, wow. This is a tricky one.
I actually think this one's obvious.
Devon Achane?
No,
oh, no.
somebody that's used a lot except when they get in close.
Bijan Robinson?
But he has.
That's a great.
He has more points.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
He has more points than.
No, it's Saquon Barkley.
Oh boy.
Is the answer here? Eagles have the 3rd easiest remaining schedule for running backs. Up to this point, it was 9th hardest. Eagles play the Cowboys this week, then Chicago, at the Chargers, home to Las Vegas, at my Washington Commanders, at Buffalo, and then Washington again. That's a great schedule for Saquon down the stretch. So I think some of these running backs, hopefully, the idea here was like, hey, these are some running backs that you might be able to get cheap, or even if you have to pay, quote, market value, we think their value will go up the rest of the year because of their remaining schedule. These are all running backs that have really easy schedules for running backs the rest of the way. Trade deadline, of course, in a week for most leagues. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.